Good afternoon, I'm Rob Boskamp, and you're listening to South Texas Midday. Thank you for joining me on this Tuesday, November 25th. The city of Rockport issued a boil water notice for residents yesterday. A lightning strike on Saturday damaged the Rockport Service Center water tower, knocking out equipment and parts of the IT network. The damage also caused a drop in water pressure. As a result, the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality had required residents to boil water before drinking, washing, or bathing. City officials announced that sample testing showed that the water is safe for drinking and other use, and the notice was lifted after 10 a.m. today. Residents can contact the city of Rockport with questions at 361-790-1160. Also, the city recently switched from the Code Red system to Reverse Alert in September to notify residents with emergency notifications. Residents can sign up by texting their zip code to 888-777 or visiting reversealert.org to create an account. Corpus Christi continues to reach out regarding alternative water supplies as the city inches closer to a level 1 water emergency next year. First, an update on current supplies. Lake Corpus Christi went up slightly from the weekend rain from 11.9% to 12.2%. Canyon Reservoir is steady at 10.3% as of today. City and water officials hosted an information session last night to discuss the Evangeline Groundwater Wells project, which would draw water from an aquifer in San Patricio County.
500,000 people every day rely on us. So the message tonight, hopefully, that you'll get amongst many is that this water is for the region.
That was Corpus Christi City Manager Peter Zanoni speaking at last night's session. That audio is courtesy of KRAS 6 News. Corpus Christi officials have met with other residents and officials across South Texas for the past several months. KEDT and KVRT also reached out to several of those entities, and Lavaca-Navidad River Authority officials provided us with a statement. Officials applauded the vision and effort shown by the city of Corpus Christi and the Nueces River Authority to advance desalination as a future water supply for the region. To quote, while costs and permitting will always be a driver in the discussion water supply development, in their opinion, creating a drought-resilient supply for a drought-prone region is invaluable, end quote. They spoke about emergency water conditions in the Nueces Basin. They, quote, understand that over the past 4+ years, the region has steadily transitioned into exceptional drought conditions, receiving little to no runoff producing rain in that time period that might have improved the available water supplies in the region's western reservoirs, end quote. Currently, Lake Texana is about 70% full, but portions of the Lavaca Basin are experiencing moderately to extremely dry conditions, albeit not as intense or as prolonged in the Nueces Basin over the same time period. The LNRA's drought contingency plan reached a second drought trigger level towards the end of the summer when the lake fell below 78.18% capacity. The River Authority then reduced freshwater releases downstream of the lake to minimum stream flow. The plan's next trigger level will be met if Lake Texana falls to 50% capacity. If that happens, LNRA will work with its water customers to appropriately manage remaining water on a pro-rata basis. Thanksgiving is on Thursday, and travel weather across Texas will start mostly dry but end up rainy for some. Texas Public Radio's Brian Kirkpatrick has the story.
The Texas Department of Public Safety reports Wednesday and Sunday will be the most congested days to be on the road. Additional state troopers will be on the lookout for speeders, drunk drivers, and those not buckled up. AAA reports nearly 6 million Texans will hit the road. Travel weather across the state on Wednesday will be rain-free except for border areas. Travel weather across the state on Sunday may see showers fall on Austin, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, and the Rio Grande Valley. All have a low to moderate chance of rain. AAA reports a gallon of regular unleaded in Texas to start this Thanksgiving week was $2.65. I'm Brian Kirkpatrick in San Antonio.
A more severe flu strain, a mismatched vaccine, and fewer people getting the vaccine in the first place may mean trouble ahead. Texas Public Radio bioscience and medicine reporter Bonnie Petrie explains.
As flu season begins in earnest, many public health experts are worried that we're in for a severe one.
So I share that concern. I'm worried that we're going to have a bumpy flu season.
That's UT Health San Antonio infectious diseases specialist, Dr. Jason Bowling, who says the dominant strain so far this year is a version of H3N2 that has mutated since the vaccine was formulated, so it's not a perfect match. But it does appear to offer some protection, and Bowling urges people to get it anyway. He says not enough people got it last year, and there were consequences.
We lost 280 children to flu in the United States last year. That's unacceptable. That is a record number from 2004.
H3N2 is known as one of the more severe strains of flu and was responsible for its own pandemic back in 1968. I'm Buddy Petrie reporting.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture has launched a new website to centralize information about the New World screwworm. Texas Public Radio's Maria Navarro has the details.
The flesh-eating larval parasite has been found across Central America, South America, and Mexico, and is considered a threat to livestock, pets, and wildlife. The newly launched screwworm.gov contains resources for livestock producers, veterinarians, and wildlife professionals. It also has the latest USDA-verified information on cases and response activity to fight the pest spread into the United States. A case was detected this fall in a Mexican city less than 70 miles from the Texas-Mexico border. I'm Maria Navarro in San Antonio.
And in sports, high school football playoffs just might be part of your Thanksgiving menu. Here are some of this week's games with South Texas teams. In Class 5A Division II, Gregory Portland faces Bernie in San Antonio. Victoria West goes head-to-head with Alamo Heights in Bastrop. In Class 4A Division II, Rockport Fulton will face Cuero at Buccaneer Stadium in Corpus Christi on Friday. Sinton squares off with Wimberley in San Antonio. In Class 3A Division I, Goliad faces Llano in Bastrop. Edna faces Ingram Moore in New Braunfels, and Yoakum will take on Hardin in Cypress. And in Class 2A Division I, Refugio faces Ganado in Port Lavaca, and Kennedy will take on Mason in Hutto. And in college basketball, the Texas A&M Corpus Christi women's team began their latest road trip last night, falling to number 24 Oklahoma State 98-45. Samora Watson led the Islanders with 11 points on 4-7 shooting with 5 assists and 4 rebounds. Marissa Shelton and Asha Walker each had 9 points. They will face Oral Roberts tomorrow afternoon. Meanwhile, the men's basketball team will not be in action until Friday when they face Xavier in Cincinnati. But come game time, they will be riding a school history-making high. The Islanders defeated Howard Payne over the weekend 122-75, setting a school record for points scored in a game. And that is the latest news and information on South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. Your community arts calendar and more is on the way.